Good afternoon and welcome to VetNet. This is our first O2O VCTP Employer Spotlight. I am A.J. Flakowski, active duty Army veteran, 11 and a half years active duty. I'm serving in the Army Reserves right now. I'll work full-time as a project manager here at the IVMF in support of our programs and services. Today's session, we are blessed with three special guests. Tony Zamora, U.S. Navy veteran and currently serving as the Human Resources Director for Ipsos in North America. Albert Armijo, U.S. Navy veteran and currently serving as a Veteran Talent Advisory and Senior Program Manager for Oracle. Therese Sullivan, currently serving as a National Recruiter for Universal Hospital Services, holding both the PRC and the CMBR certifications. This session will be moderated by the O2O VCTP programs, Anthony Cosby, Director of Employer Outreach, and Ashley Schraft, an Onward Opportunity Account Specialist from Hiring Our Heroes, USA. Monitoring the YouTube chat channel throughout the course of this session, and I will introduce any questions that come across the YouTube chat channel by our guests that are participating via YouTube chat. So, Anthony and Ashley, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Thanks so much, AJ, and thanks so much for our special guests for joining us. Tony, Therese, Albert, it's certainly a pleasure to have you all here with us today. I really appreciate you taking out time in your busy schedule. This is our first event for Employer Spotlight here on the Google Hangout session. We know there are going to be much more to come, but this is a great opportunity for us to present you all to our participants through the Onward Opportunity Program, and also to any veterans out there or military spouses who are viewing this Google Hangout session that's going to be held on YouTube forever. So we're looking forward to it. Again, I'm Anthony Cosby, Director of Employer Outreach at Syracuse University's Institute for Veterans and Military Families. I am a Navy veteran, so we are Navy heavy here on this panel today. And I have the pleasure of being employed with the Institute for about 2 years now. Been able to work on the Onward Opportunity VCTP program through San Antonio, and I've been able to work with employers all over the country that are veteran passionate and want to hire our veterans and military spouses to gain through careers. It's been a joy working with my colleague, Ashley Schraft from Hiring Our Heroes USA, who has been with me from the beginning, and now it's time for her to introduce herself. So Ashley, please, if you could introduce yourself and followed by the introduction of our guests and the first questions.
Real quick, Ashley, you're muted. I went through and muted everybody that wasn't talking.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. I would have kept talking, but yeah, so excited for this first Employer Spotlight. Thank you so much to our employers and everyone that came out to see us today. As everyone said, my name is Ashley Schraft. I'm one of the Employer Account Specialists at Hire Heroes USA in partnership with the Onward Opportunity and Veteran Career Transition Program. And I know, so we have Tony Zamora here with us today. Tony, did you want to jump off and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about Ipsos?
Yeah, hold on. So Tony, you're muted. You can unmute.
All right, got it. Could you guys hear me now?
Yep, and I'll bring your slides up as soon as you are ready to and tell me to.
Perfect. So hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. And thank you for the invitation to participate in this. I'm Tony Zamora. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I was active duty for just over 4 years as an electronics technician. When I got out of the military, I wanted kind of a different career path, so went into human resources and been in HR for just about 11 years now. Currently, I'm working as an HR director for Ipsos, which is it's actually the third largest market research firm in the world. Did you want me to kind of go through these slides real quick, or do we want to do everybody's introductions?
I figure you can hit your slides real quick, and then we'll go on to the next guest.
Okay, perfect. I'll go through the slides very quick. So you could go to the next slide.
Sure. Are you able to see him?
Yep, I see it now. So, like I said, we are the third largest market research organization in the world. We are a global player. We're represented in 88 countries, very strong in Europe. Our headquarters is in Paris. But here in the United States, we consider our headquarters in our New York office, but we are kind of scattered throughout North America. I think we have something about over 20 offices in the US and Canada. So we're kind of all spread out. Next slide. The way we're organized here at Ipsos, we're specialties in different markets. So whether it's media or brand, advertising and marketing, political affairs and corporate reputation, customer experience and loyalty, employee satisfaction. So we're kind of broken up into these 5 specialties, which really allows us to better serve our clients. Next slide. I want to give you a few examples of some of the work that we do. So our Ipsos social media exchange, it falls under our marketing department. And what they do there is we're able to moderate and facilitate communities for our clients. So we could talk about a specific brand or a specific advertising event that we have. For example, Super Bowl's coming up. We're able to monitor all this social media traffic that's happening around a specific product or even the game itself. So it's kind of a fun, if you're tech savvy, if you're really into social media and all the trends that are happening, this is kind of a really good and interesting group to be a part of. Next slide. Another thing that we do, we're very strong and experts in the automotive industry, both for the auto manufacturers themselves as well as dealerships. So I won't go into all the details of the slide, but some of the tools that we have forecasting and prediction analysis tools that we're able to predict the success of a specific dealership on different training opportunities that they give to their staff. So if they want to teach them on a specific client interaction skills, we're able to predict on how successful that dealership is going to be with those training opportunities. So it's kind of fun. Next slide. Just to give you an idea of some of the clients that we work with, and we have a very large portfolio in the automotive industry, from the big name brands, Ford, GM, Chevy, to premium brands, trucks, two-wheelers, suppliers, and even construction and agricultural equipment. So we're we have a good expertise in the automotive industry. Next slide. One of the departments that really hits home to us, to the veteran community, is some of our larger clients are actually the Department of Defense and Department of Veteran Affairs. You can see we also work with several of the healthcare industry providers. If you go to the next slide. Some of the programs that we do for the Department of Defense and Department of Veteran Affairs is we actually do patient satisfaction surveys. If you guys are veterans now or transitioning into to be part of the VA healthcare system, you'll probably get a survey or satisfaction survey after one of your visits. If you read kind of the fine print, it will most likely say it's coming from Ipsos. So we really help shape the healthcare industry and how well the VA and TRICARE is performing. One of the other programs that we have that's really cool is called a Million Veteran Program Initiative. So again, if you do step into a VA hospital, you'll probably see these signs everywhere. I was just in the VA hospital yesterday and kind of saw these posters everywhere. What it is we're helping the VA recruit 1 million veterans into what's called a human genome program. So we could really understand how different health conditions, how we could better improve them. So it's a really cool program. I encourage you guys to look up the Million Veteran Program. Next slide. Just to go over some quick opportunities. So if you are interested in opportunities at Ipsos or want to learn more about us, you could find us on Ipsos.com. You could also find a lot of our jobs on the Ipsos in North America page on LinkedIn, or you could find a lot of our news on Ipsos US or at Ipsos CA for our Canadian news and opportunities. Just some quick tips I wanted to provide. What typically stands or how candidates typically stand out in the recruitment process is they bring a lot of excitement and enthusiasm to the job. We always encourage a resume that's tailored for each position. you know, a lot of veterans, what we see is they kind of put in very generalizations or a lot of acronyms in the resume. Look at the job posting that's out there. Think about your skill set and how that might apply, and really word your resume to specific to that job posting. And then always be prepared, practice, and inquisitive, right? We are a company of researchers. We ask a lot of questions. So we want our candidates who come in to interview, we want them to be asking those same kind of questions. Next slide. Just a very big highlight of our employee benefits. So we offer anything from fitness reimbursement, all the healthcare, health, vision, dental, a great vacation, sick time, and holiday policy. So just kind of you can learn more about these benefits and read about the details on them on our website, but just wanted to let show this real quickly. Next slide. We also offer, we're always learning. So again, we are researchers. We're always learning about how the world revolves around us. We have a great internal program. It's called our Ipsos Training Center, where we provide training for all the new joiners and really teach them. Even if you don't have experience in market research, we'll teach you the basics, market research 101. We have very specific training classes based on our client needs and the different departments that we have. We train from within. So most of our leaders, a good portion, we do a lot of internal promotions, and we train them. We train the future leaders at Ipsos internally, and we even provide training for our clients. So we have a separate portal on our Ipsos Training Center that provides training for our clients who want to learn more about research or more about the training or the skill sets that we offer. Next slide. We are putting together or expanding our veterans program. So part of it is, of course, partnerships like this with O2O. We also, again, have a partnership with the VA. We're trying to provide more volunteer opportunities. Our employees are going out to the local VA hospitals to volunteer. If you look me up on the SHRM blog or Society for Human Resource Management blog for about the last year or so, I've been writing very specific content to help veterans transition into the workplace. So you could just look me up, and all the articles that I posted there are kind of tips and tricks to how to help you transition into the civilian sector. And then the next slide. I think the last one is just, again, thank you. If you guys do want to reach out to me, you could find me on LinkedIn, Tony Zamora, or on Twitter, Tony D. Zamora.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tony. I really appreciate that overview, Ipsos, and for everyone on this session, great information, and please take all that information to heart. And please, if you have any questions, AJ is filling those questions, and we'll pop those in. But at this time, it's my privilege to introduce you guys to my good friend, Albert. And Albert is working at Oracle in my backyard of San Antonio, Texas, and again, a Navy veteran. And real quick, I'll brag a little bit on Albert because he's taken the initiative to go to each O2O location this year to really promote Oracle and the great things they're trying to do for connecting veterans with qualified careers at Oracle. So appreciate your efforts there, Albert, and the floor is yours.
Hey, thank you very much, Anthony. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Looking forward to visiting your Seattle cohort next week, as a matter of fact. So looking forward to that. I hope it's not cold out there. Listen, thank you very much. I really appreciate O2O for the invitation. And very first and foremost, I'd like to thank all you out there for your service, and as well as for your family as well. The service and sacrifice definitely don't go unnoticed. So thank you all very much for what each of you do each and every day for our country. My name is Albert Armijo. I am a program manager with Oracle, and I represent our veteran talent team. I am retired from the Navy, as Anthony had said. Me and Anthony had the pleasure of serving together in talent acquisition. I did 20 years and 12 days. I have to make sure that I talk about those extra 12 days out there. Those were extremely important. My first 4 years was in fast attack submarines for the Navy. And then after I was on submarines, I transitioned into HR and talent acquisition, where I remained for my last 16 years. And that, I think, eventually led me onto this role with Oracle. In Oracle, we have been around since 1974, so for the past 4.5 decades or so. We have approximately 155,000 employees across 55 countries. We are very big in the federal space. One of our very first clients was a very well-known federal agency that's still around today in the Central Intelligence Agency. When most people hear Oracle, they hear and they think of IT, and IT is very big, a very big space within Oracle. But I want everyone to know that there is more than just IT within Oracle. There is a sales division, there is program management, there are tax analysts, we have lawyers, there are probably close to 75 different roles within Oracle. And in any given day within the year, there are approximately 2,500 different roles open on our website, and that is across the United States. So our website is www.oracle.com/careers. It's very user-friendly. You can search by location. You can type in a keyword and search by industry. What's awesome about our partnership with O2O is that all those tracks that each of you are participating in, whether they be IT, whether they be the project management or business track, or whether they be the client experience, what's great is that each one of those aligns with some of the different roles that we here at Oracle are pursuing. So I highly encourage you to take a look at some of the different opportunities that are out there, and I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of the candidates that are out there within the different O2O tracks. And again, if there's anything that I can do, please feel free to look me up on LinkedIn at Albert Armijo, and looking forward to meeting you all, and thank you all for your service again.
Thank you so much, Albert. And yes, thank you for joining. And now I'm going to pass it over to Therese Sullivan, who is the National Recruiter for Universal Hospital Services. Therese?
Therese, I think you're still muted. There should be a little microphone at the top of the screen that you can just click on.
There, can you hear me
Yep.
now?
Yep, there you go.
Oh, you guys, sorry about that. I was thinking that I was all set to go. So anyways, I've been in recruiting for over 10 years. The last 2 years, I've really dedicated time to recruiting and sourcing military candidates. We have a leader, a CEO, Tom Leonard, who is actually a Navy veteran, like a couple of you on the call here today. And so when he joined our company, he really thought that it was important to focus on military veterans. And so that's what we've been doing, and it's been exciting, and that's how I met Ashley and Anthony as well. So a quick overview of UHS and what we do is that we provide medical equipment and services to hospitals. So for close to 80 years. And so we have 80 offices nationwide, and we provide medical equipment services to over 7,000 healthcare providers and hospitals. So as a whole, we're about 3,000 strong, right? And so we manage over 700,000 pieces of medical equipment. We have approximately, like I said, 3,000 employees nationwide, and we want to be considered an equipment value management company. So what that means is that we provide rental equipment to hospitals, and that would include like infusion pumps, ventilators, incubators, anything that's on wheels, we would provide to hospitals. So the beauty of it is nurses love us because we deliver that medical equipment to them when they need it to help their patients. And then we clean it, maintain it, and get it ready for the next person. We also have a surgical services part of our business where we provide the actual surgical laser technician that goes into the operating room and sets up the equipment and runs that laser equipment for the surgeon and the surgical team. Another part of our business, of course, is our asset management program. We have over 200 of those programs nationwide. We have hospital service technicians on site that they manage, clean, and track the medical equipment for the hospital. So the hospital has really entrusted our company to do that for them. And then lastly is that we have our clinical engineering side of the business, where we have biomedical equipment repair technicians to clean or to repair and maintain the equipment. So oftentimes there's preventive maintenance that needs to be done on equipment. That's what UHS steps in to do. So we hire many veterans for this role. The military school actually, they have a program in San Antonio where they have an accelerated training program that many of our technicians come from. So that's just kind of in a nutshell, you know, what UHS does. In the last couple years, we've become a public-private partnership, or a P3 company, with the Army Reserve. And then last year we connected with, it's called Operation New Uniform in Jacksonville, Florida. And that's how they connected me with Ashley and Anthony on Onward to Opportunity. So it's been kind of a great ride here, and we're just kind of ramping up and want to make sure for 2018 that we continue our partnerships and hire more veterans.
Thanks so much, Therese. That was so great. And I think we have a few YouTube questions actually to start off with.
Awesome.
We do actually. The first one is for Tony, and comes from Will Neves, and he's asking if there's going to be any events in the DC area for Ipsos in the near future.
We don't have anything planned in the DC area, but we do have actually the large office there, of course, because of all our political clients that we have there. But if you do contact me on LinkedIn, find me there, and we could connect. I'll let you know when the next event is there in DC. We actually just had a career fair at I believe it was at the Army Navy Club at December 1st, I think it was. So, but nothing planned yet.
Perfect. And we'll actually just chat it in, asking the same for the other two reps for your companies, anything in the DC area.
Yeah, we'll actually be at the Recruit Military Hiring Fair March 29th, I believe it is, in the DC area.
Okay. Teresa, anything from you?
Yeah, no, we don't have any career fairs that are happening in the DC area, but we do have a few in Maryland areas. So I know that how connected DC is to Maryland. So again, you know, check out our website. It's uhs.com, or feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn as well.
Perfect. Thank you. The second question is from Margaret Lundquist, and she's asking about work from home opportunities that any of your companies may have.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start off. You know, I think that Oracle in itself, from my company's perspective, you know, with all the AI that's happening out there and advancement in technology, you know, a lot of companies are starting to move away from your brick and mortar buildings. So Oracle is definitely expanding when it comes to remote opportunities. On our website, when you're exploring and looking at some of the different roles out there, you'll notice that some of our locations for some of these roles actually have United States as the location. And when United States is listed as a location, that means that that role is open to remote work or flex opportunity. So anytime you're exploring there and you see a role that has United States as a location, that means that that role is open to remote or flex type opportunity.
Great, thank you. Therese or Tony, do you guys?
Yeah, I can answer that. Because we're a service company, for the most part, I would say we're out and about, you know, going to hospitals, doing deliveries, that type of thing. Although, you know, probably at our corporate office here in Minnesota, there might be some opportunities to work from home, but I would say they're pretty limited, to be honest.
Thank you.
We do offer them. It all depends. You know, a lot of times our clients want us kind of close to them, so we do have presence in larger hub areas. So I think I would say our largest offices are in LA, Seattle, Chicago, Toronto, and New York, and Cincinnati. So those are our largest offices where kind of the concentration of our clients are. But that said, we do have kind of a blended work environment where we do have people kind of working remote. So again, encourage everybody to check out the website, look at our job postings, and then anytime you get in touch with a recruiter, they could talk to you and determine whether a specific position allows allows the person to work from home or not.
Awesome. Thank you. That's it for the YouTube chat questions as for now. Anthony, Ashley, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Great feedback. Yeah, so we wanted to start off and just say, what are some common issues that you guys have seen with veterans joining the civilian sector? And do you guys have any advice for them to overcome those issues? Albert, you're first on my screen, so I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. I think that one of the issues that we kind of see mostly is I've experienced is some of our transitioning veterans is trying to see how they align into the corporate environment from what they're doing in the military per se. I've always said, and I know that there's so many different opinions out there, but I've always said that the military is quite like corporate America. I'm sure that someone that is doing satellite communications, it is exactly the same in corporate America. It's just called something different. So really, it's about finding that individual who you can network with and who you can connect with and get that insight and find out how exactly what you're doing in the military aligns with what that individual is doing in corporate America and bridge that gap between the two. Once you do that, it's about, as Tony had said earlier, detailing that in the resume, because some individuals in corporate may not have that military experience. That individual that you are looking at, or that individual that's looking at your resume to find this caliber candidate, may not have that military experience behind them and really doesn't know exactly what you did. But if you have someone with that is inside that working environment that has that lingo, you can help tweak your resume and help connect the dots a little bit more. As an example, I connected with a veteran at one point that on his resume had put, he was and this is just an example, Mark 51, like Mod 2, advanced air to ground, tactical, something or other, right? And at the end of the day, it was just so much better if he just put advanced technical technician, kind of cut it down where, the hiring team really didn't know what the Mark 52 mod whatever was. So it's really just trying to narrow those words down and really try to align that resume with what that hiring team is looking for, utilizing that corporate lingo. And that's what I find happens to be the easiest route to bridge that gap. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, definitely. That's great feedback. And, I feel like at this time, it's a good time to plug Hire Heroes USA services, because that's something that our transition specialists specialize in, is civilianese, as we call it. So translate all those applicable military skills over so that everyone in the hiring world can really understand the magnitude of the things that you've been doing during your time in service. So I totally agree with that. Therese, do you want to go next?
Yeah, no, I want to reiterate what you said and what Albert said, that absolutely to try to navigate the taking what their military experience and putting that into a resume can be a challenge. So what I kind of wrote down on my notes is to reach out to a transition assistance program and to ask questions, clarify, what the job expectations are, and see if that is a good transition from your military background. And then lastly, just that I want everybody to keep in mind that all employers are seeking veteran talent. So, your dedicated service means a lot to employers, and we value you so much. So know that going in, that you've got that happening, and just being able to transition kind of your service and the things that awesome things you've done onto a resume. And so that will help you with, interviewing. And then my last suggestion is to have a mentor or a colleague kind of help you through that as well. Someone else that has experienced that, I think, can be great benefit to you.
Definitely. Tony, did you have any input on that question?
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with what was said before. So I think the biggest thing is just being able to translate your skills into what the civilian sector is looking for. So again, working with higher heroes, find a mentor, find another veteran who might be in an organization that you're looking to work at, and ask them how they got into that role, so that you could kind of eliminate a lot of the acronyms, because remember, a lot of corporate recruiters aren't going to understand the acronyms that you're using in the military. So just translating those, spelling out things versus condensing them in an acronym is going to help out. So that's what would really help out on the application side. As far as the original question, I think was what one of the challenges that we see is we see that it's not the first job a veteran takes initially out of the military. So their very first job that they take in the civilian sector, it might not always be the good fit. Right. So, and what I mean by that is just really do your homework, read all the job descriptions, look at the company that you want to work at, and not only the company, but the industry that you want to work in. Because what we've seen, and I'll quote, we're a research company, so we're always looking at studies or doing studies ourselves, is there's many studies out there that show that the veteran in their very first job out of the military, they tend to only last 1 to 2 years. And then there's high turnover, because really they take the first job that they take it, they realize this isn't really what they want to do with the rest of their lives. So they want to move in and find something that really satisfies them. Right. So I did it myself. I think my first job out of the military, I was there for about 2 years for a defense contractor. Decided it wasn't for me, moved into human resources in an industry and market research that I would have never even thought about when I was in the military, and now I've been here for over 6 years. So again, just really do some homework on the industry and type of organization that you want to work in.
Definitely. That's actually a big focus for us this year, is that underemployment, because, as you were saying, Tony, it is very common for you just to kind of jump at the first job that you get. So yeah, definitely. Anthony?
Yeah, no, thanks so much. Great input, guys. Really appreciate that. So knowing that we have our veterans and military spouses accumulating tons of skills and talent, is there certain traits or skills that will help a candidate stand out in the applicant tracking pool? And Therese, you're unmuted, so I'll go to you first.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I think that veteran candidates bring to the table the skills of being organized, focused, dedicated, reliable, lead by example, great leadership skills, and then they're used to working with a diverse group of people too. So all of that is so valued at UHS here, and in my experience as a recruiter. So certainly I think that those qualities would make a huge difference. Now, of course, for our company too, anybody interested in healthcare and in hospital settings, of course, those would kind of stand out for me as well.
Thanks so much. Tony.
Sure. So project management skills, I think, are always good. Veterans are always used to managing many different projects at one time. I know, you always have to do more than just what your job description is in the military, right? You're always taking on, I know in the Navy, we had tons of collateral duties we always had to do outside our day-to-day, which, don't neglect to put those on your resumes. So if you were an electronics person in the military, don't just put those, put everything that you did outside your job description, because that would really help stand out amongst the crowd. Any leadership, any kind of training that you did in the military, whether again, job specific or just kind of those soft skill kind of classes, we're always doing training in the military. So put those out there. And I think what really helps out is just list how, it's interesting because it's, veterans handle stress very well. So definitely list those situations where you're kind of in a stressful situation and how you overcame that. I think that it's one of the aspects of veterans that really helps them stand out.
Thanks so much, Tony. Albert.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. And I think that, you know, both Tony and Therese really were spot on that. And at the end of the day, it's success, you know, standing up to the challenge and being successful. And I like to say that, you know, where there's a stool, right? And we're getting ready to sit down on this stool. And in one leg, you have the culture fit, which I believe that a lot of our vets have. And then on the other leg is the soft skills. And then that third leg is the domain knowledge. And, you know, they're halfway there on the domain knowledge. And then that's where the company that is lucky enough to have these vets help build on. And then you get a nice sturdy foundation where these individuals can continue to grow in that company. On top of that, I think that the other skill that's great for us in our space particularly is that the government experience behind them and that government knowledge and government legalities, I guess, is the word that I'm trying to use. You know, so much of what we do and so many of our clients are in that space. So knowing that a lot of our vets have that skill and the background with that really, really helps set them apart.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, no, thanks so much. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ashley for the next question.
Yeah, so closing things out, I kind of wanted to see, you know, if you guys had any good success stories from hiring veterans, or just if you wanted to highlight any benefits that you've seen personally from hiring a veteran at your company. Let you go first this time.
Sorry, did you want me to go first? I didn't hear that you broke up.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we do have so market research isn't, you know, one of those first industries that a veteran thinks about, right? But we have had quite a bit success stories, and the reason I kind of pointed out to the 3 divisions earlier is that's really where we've seen the veterans become the most successful in our industry. So if somebody's very, you know, has a lot of a strong technical background, computer savvy, again, looking at, you know, a lot of online resources, social media, they tend to fit really well into our social media division and our marketing department. Our automotive group, which is out of our Detroit office primarily, of course, because Motor City, we have quite a few veterans out there working. Just, you know, the mechanics who no longer want to work in mechanics, but understand the auto industry, understand mechanics, and want to kind of fall into or learn more about research. They tend to do very well out there. And then, of course, with our political polling and public opinion group out of our DC office, and actually here in Chicago, because you do understand the military, again, are some of our largest clients are the Department of Defense and the Department of Veteran Affairs. Because you have that relationship, and not only relationship, but understanding and really passion, right? So we all join the military for passion for country and to help others. You could really continue that working with these clients. And so we've seen some of our veterans work there, and you know, they're just really passionate about the work they do, which helps them succeed.
Great, that's perfect. Thanks so much, Tony.
Sure,
Albert?
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. I'd like to highlight one particular role that, you know, we hired vets into, and those are solution architects, where these individuals are designing solutions on how Oracle software and Oracle products can help solidify some of our clients' needs to help satisfy their product and what they need. So we're able to take some of these service members from the battlefield, where they're out there designing plans to, you know, a strategy to take cities in foreign countries and things of that nature. And now they're able to take that background, take what they're doing, you know, downrange, bring it back here and be able to implement that type of strategy, that type of challenge, incorporate it into a tech industry, and be able to satisfy and solidify and design a plan on how our corporation can help satisfy the needs of our clients. So I think that's really cool to see how they can take it from over there, bring it into this industry, and satisfy the need of one of our clients. So I think that's awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Albert. Therese?
Yeah, so in this past year, I've really noticed, the veterans that we've hired for our hospital-based programs, the hospital service technicians, the people that actually, doing the deliveries of the equipment, being face-to-face with our customer. It's been an awesome fit. And so their excellent work ethic, the consistent attendance, the teamwork, being polite and professional, our customer loves it. And so that has been a success story, as well as our biomedical repair technicians, the people with the clinical engineering background that do repairs on our life-saving equipment. It's awesome. Managers that are leaders either in a hospital setting or in our district offices, that they're really doing well as well. So we just love their leadership capability, their ability to work, like I said, with a diverse group of people. That it's been wonderful, and just having these connections with you and Anthony, it's been a great experience in this past year.
Yeah, and we've loved working with you as well. Thanks so much, Therese. So I think what I'm hearing, let your military service empower you. I know that's a big focus for us at Hire Heroes USA, and really utilize those programs that are out here to assist you. It's opportunities, and you can definitely get set up for success with them. I think we had a few more YouTube questions, AJ.
Yeah, so we actually had, I think 3. Another one just came in too. So Will Neves, he had a recent experience with leadership at his company. It looks like despite having examples of solid leadership backgrounds, they were focused on a specific degree. Do you guys have any advice for him regarding that? Looks like here they were hung up like he had a BA in history, and they were focused on that versus his leadership experiences. Any takers?
No, that's an interesting one. I'll take that. I know that for our leadership roles, certainly for hospital setting and now in our district setting, that we used to actually require a 4-year degree, and we have taken that away now, that we feel like we don't want to miss out on candidates like him that have the leadership experience in the past. They just might not have the degree. So, ideally, if they're working towards a degree program, that would be ideal. But certainly if he has the experience leading people, we certainly would want to consider him.
I would have to agree with that. I think from my experience, I'm seeing kind of what Therese was saying. More companies are saying degree, it's okay, it's not required if you do have the experience. Tony, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, same here. So it used to be a requirement. It still is for some of our positions. So they do want candidates to have a 4-year degree. But what we've seen and what we've been able to do is, if you have military experience, we consider that instead of education. We know veterans are constantly getting training. It might not be an official 4-year degree from a university, but that's fine. Your military experience is still definitely going to help you stand out amongst the other candidates.
Yeah, absolutely. I concur with Tony as well. I think that you'll see on a number of our job advertisements out there that you'll see that bachelor's degree or equivalent, and they take a lot of military experience out there. We look at that very heavily, especially when it comes down to our IT industries as well.
Awesome. Another question here came in, said in an interview recently, this person was asked why we should select you over 9 other candidates. Offer answered was surrounding dependability. An example given was answering the phone at 1 o'clock in the morning. Any advice from the group here on how to answer that question?
Teresa, do you want to start?
I guess I need the question one more time, because it was breaking up. I'm so sorry.
So they were asked what separates them from 9 other candidates that applied for the position, and they reply with dependability. And an example was that they answered the phone at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
They're just curious if there's any better way to answer that question.
Yeah, no, I think that, honestly, I think that's a great answer too. I know that our operations manager, UHS, is a 24/7 operation. Of course, people don't get sick just from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. So I think that was a great answer. And, your availability to your team, I think is amazing. And those are the success stories that we have are the managers that are available to the team. So certainly it's showing that he's available to the team members and, cares about them by answering the phone at 1 a.m. So that's great.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's always nice to go ahead and prep for those hard questions and find something that aligns with the job, a skill that you have. If that job does require you to answer the phone in the middle of the night sometimes, that's definitely a great answer. Also, on the other end, when they ask you things that you need to improve on, it's also good to find things that aren't really pertaining to your job description. You can kind of talk on those points on the opposite end.
Yeah, Ashley, I think too, another possible, I guess if that's what you could say, I think another thing out there that's also good to throw out there is that you're willing to learn. I think it's okay to say that, hey, I realize that I don't know everything there is to know at the company, but I am a quick learner and I am willing to learn. I think that's a good trait to have and a good trait for companies to know that they're getting an employee that is dedicated to learning and dedicated to growing with the company.
Definitely, yeah. The more adaptable you are, the longer that you can stay there, and that's really what companies want.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I was also going to add in, being a team player, being collaborative, it's something that it's just kind of embedded in us from the beginning in the military, and it's something that people could bring to the table. Is this, you work, you handle stressful situations well, you work well with others, and again, just provide kind of those examples.
Awesome. Another question going back to Will here. He's asking that it sounds like you guys have fairly decent outreach to veterans within the industries that you guys are involved in. He was asking if a veteran's interested in entering an industry that you guys are not representing here, what's the best way to approach kind of getting involved there and doing outreach to those industries?
I'll start off there. So I'll start off especially because, again, I don't think our industry market research isn't one that veterans think of right off the bat. I know I never thought about it. But I think just looking at job description at different companies, a good way to do that, just go down LinkedIn or work with Hire Heroes with your transition specialist. They could kind of help identify different industries that you might not have thought of just based on your resume, right? And then again, look at what's posted out there on LinkedIn. And then if you do want to get more information, try to find a mentor, a veteran who might be in a different industry that you're interested in, and just talk. I always say this, like the best $3 investment you could make is buy somebody a cup of coffee, right? Somebody's always willing to talk over a cup of coffee. If they're local to the city where you're in, treat them out for a cup of coffee. And those 30 minutes that you guys chat, you'll learn a lot about the industry and whether if it's going to be a right fit for you or not.
Mm-hmm. Networking is a great tool to land a new job, definitely. And yeah, at Hire Heroes USA, we do assist people looking for work in all industries, all across the board. I've assisted someone that wanted to be a magician all the way to an astronaut.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Albert?
Yeah, definitely cruise the interweb for, tweet ups and a lot of different social media happenings that are going on out there, with the Google Hangouts and things of that nature. There's even here in San Antonio, and I'm sure it happens across the cities across America. I mean, there are these tech hangouts that happen where, individuals who are interested in the tech industry will meet up at one location. And this happens at least once or twice a month. So again, these are all broadcasted on social media. So like I said, make sure you stay involved in all that. And definitely, like Tony said, reach out to your local transitioning agencies, because they definitely are in communication with all those industries out there. And it's definitely a great place to start.
Awesome. The last question that came in here is from Shanna Haight. She says, military spouse here, curious, what's the best way to follow up with jobs that were applied to via the internet?
That is a great question. I would say, hopefully their applicant tracking system has something set up to let you know if you're not selected, or you should be able to kind of log into your account where you submitted your resume to see your status. If there was a recruiter's email attached to the job posting, I would give it a few weeks. Recruiters are really busy, and you definitely don't want to abuse that email address, but it's definitely okay to check in on your status and still see if you're being considered. Therese, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think that's great, like you had mentioned, because our applicant tracking system does, provide a response saying that we've received your application. Thank you. I do agree with you, Ashley. Give us a couple weeks. At UHS, we have over 200 job openings right now, and there's 3 recruiters that I work with. So, so there is kind of a huge influx of applicants, but I certainly think it's fine to go ahead and follow up with the recruiter. As long as you're not doing it too many times in a row, but give us a couple weeks and then just follow up, just saying I'm super interested in the application, in this opportunity, and wanted to know where I'm at with the process. I think that's just fine.
Yeah, it never hurts to express your interest and say, I'm really interested in this job. But yes, definitely on our point, I would not put yourself on their radar in a negative way by reaching out too much.
Too many times, right? Yep.
AJ, I wanted to, say one thing too, our partnership with Hire Heroes USA, and for folks that are using our employer partners across the country, the great way would be to follow up with your coordinator, and I know that Ashley would be more than happy to assist with that follow-up as well if you all apply with one of our employer partners. So we value the employer partnerships, and we value placing our veterans and military spouses in meaningful careers. So I think that would be one way that's right at your fingertips that you can use as a resource.
Awesome. Tony, I saw you go off mute. Did you have something too?
Yeah, no, I was just going to agree. I said that never hesitate reaching out to a recruiter. They're always willing to help you out. Sometimes it does things just get backlogged if you have a lot of positions and we only have a handful of recruiters. So sometimes it can take weeks. So don't get frustrated or don't feel bad if you haven't heard back in 2-3 weeks. Sometimes the process could just take time, but that reminder would always help the recruiter out as well.
Great. So I think that was it for the questions. There was a couple compliments came across for HHUSA, specifically, Ashley, they said Molly Giles is doing a great job. So thought I'd pass that along.
One of our area managers. We love having her with us. Thank you. I love hearing that.
And AJ, to the panel, I truly want to thank the panel for their time again. The partnership has truly been amazing, and I remember each and every one of our onboarding sessions with you all, and it's just amazing to see how we've grown over the last 2 years with Onward to Opportunity VCTP, and we're continuing to grow. As you guys know, that our installations across the country has grown. We just opened up in Hawaii, so if you have any opportunities in Hawaii for those folks there, we'll be launching in DC as well this year, so look forward to that. Also, we'll be launching at Fort Knox, another location, and right there in your backyard in Chicago, Tony, we have another cohort that's going to be coming up next month, so looking forward to that one, and also Fort Hood in Texas. So, man, we're truly growing, and it's just amazing work that we've been able to do. And as partners, we can't do this alone. We can't do this without our great partners at Hire Heroes USA and our partners with UHS, Oracle, Ipsos. We truly thank you guys so much for your time and for your dedication to our transitioning service members, veterans, and military spouses. And I'm going to kick it over to Ashley if you have anything, and then we'll kick it to AJ, and I think we'll end.
Awesome.
Yeah, just to echo what Anthony said, if you haven't signed up for 020 VCTP, it's at no cost to you. You'll get training for certifications, free certifications, hookups with employers like our great panelists that are here right now. Hire Heroes USA is a veteran transition assistance service. We help people remotely all across the U.S. That's at no cost to you as well. So use these services. We're already hooked up with these people that are looking to hire you. And it's obviously a big, passion for us, for our veterans and military spouses to find meaningful employment as well. Yeah, just can't thank you guys enough. And thanks for watching us today. And I'll kick it over to AJ.
Great. So thanks everybody for participating. I was monitoring the YouTube throughout it. It looked like at one point we had about 55 or so folks logged in and watching. This session will be archived in the VetNet archives. So if any of you would like to go back and view it again, or want to share it with somebody who missed it that would like to see it, please feel free to do so. Moving forward, our strategy for VetNet, specific to O2O VCTP, is we're going to try to do one a month. This employer spotlight, we feel this is a very important topic, and we'll try to revisit this at least quarterly. So look for possibly about 3 more of these coming up in 2018. Other areas that we're going to cover, we did an HR one back right around Thanksgiving. We'll focus on different career pathways, PMP, customer service excellence, ones we could do for IT. But we'll also look at some other, whether it's resources or networking tips and things like that. Some LinkedIn, utilizing LinkedIn and things like that. Some other areas that we feel would be a benefit for you guys. If you have any recommendations for things you'd like to see, please feel free to email me directly. You can send an email into ivmfalumni@syr.edu. That's a generic email address we have that pulls in notes pertaining to our alumni support. So please feel free to reach out and share your ideas, and we'll see what we can do to get stuff lined up. So, but that's it. I'll log out now and stop broadcasting. But everybody have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope your 2018 is going well so far. And thanks for watching.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, everyone.